to a parent who tells their kid, oh, you don't have any real problems, it's like a perspective shift, or an attempt to shift perspectives, right?
Exactly.
But you didn't really shift any perspective there. You just dismissed me. But
Totally.
in their mind, they're like, no, if you could sit from where I was sitting at and look at life through my eyes, then you truly don't have any problems. But I'm
First.
not there. I
No.
am here. And when it comes to children, you have to meet them exactly where
Where they
they're
are.
at. Yes.
Exactly where they're at.
Yes. And you can't interject yourself into their stuff because
Nope.
they can't. So if I was talking to my girlfriend and she's giving me her tea and everything that's going on, I would then make her feel better by interjecting myself into her situation and kind of relating to it, right? When it comes to a child, the last thing they want to know about is when you were in 11th grade and something like this happened to you, or looking at it from
No.
like
That's true.
no,
Yes.
this was about me.
Yep.
Yeah, let's teach at this in this moment, and let's talk to me about what I'm going through, and that's it, right?
And that's true because now you actually teaching this baby critical thinking
Yes,
and decision making.
absolutely.
Because if you start early, then as they grow, they now start to make decisions based on knowledge that you told them and how to not to overreact to certain things. Self-control seems to be missing from a lot of people. People can't take that second to
Yes,
say, let me listen,
yes,
let me take it in, think about it for a second, and then react. People have a tendency to just hear it and react and not really take that moment, that self-control to
yes.
say, let me listen,
If
take
the
it in.
parents don't have self-control, it's hard to require and request that of the children. That's
Exactly.
also something that's being, that's taught
Yes.
to the child. When you go out into the public and a worker speaks to you wrong,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you go off the hinges and act a plum fool just the same way they treated you, or do you balance yourself out, have some self-control, and then show your child that this is how we act,
Exactly.
right? And then you always have to lean off to your kid once you clear that air, like, teachable moment. Let me tell you exactly what happened because mom, I could have acted any type of way.
Yep.
Don't forget, my gangster sits on the shelf.
Exactly. That's
right?
true. That's true.
Because you have to, especially for men,
Mm-hmm.
because man is strong,
Mm-hmm.
and very powerful,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the proper man is that strength that you exude is contained, right? It's controlled.
Exactly.
And so for someone to try you,
Mm-hmm.
and for you don't just dismiss that someone tried you. You always lean in a little bit later and let your kid know, hey, that could have went any type of way. But
Sure
I
could.
decided that was a choice. I had time to think, to
Mm-hmm.
make a choice. Because tell you, number one thing I teach my children is make good choices. We
Yes.
all have to sit with the choices that we make. Choices from being in kindergarten, whether
Mm-hmm.
you're going to tell the teacher that somebody hit you or whether you're just going to hit that person back. That's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
And your life is going to
Mm-hmm.
reflect the choices you made very young and as you get older. And so
True.
you always have that moment, let your child know, I chose not to react
Exactly.
and get,
Indignant.
physical. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And take it to another level. But trust and believe it's in me. Oh, I can take it either any which way, especially as a man. And you let them know,
Yes.
but we don't always have to go that route.
That is very true. And it also goes back to how that man was raised.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he has no one taught him self-control,
Mm-hmm.
then every situation that pops up, he's gonna be that gorilla in the room.
Yes.
And you don't have to be a gorilla in the room. But
Nope.
no one taught him that there's a time and a place. So you'll see a lion out there, and you're like, oh, that lion just is nice and calm and everything because you ain't mess with the lion.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you keep throwing stuff at the lion have to show his teeth,
Yes.
saying that don't think
You
I'm
keep
just saying, look.
provoking something, it's going to act.
And so I'm gonna show you. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna warn you. I'm gonna show you the teeth, and that's I better not test that.
Mhm.
Test that water. So it's a matter of you have to instill that in your kids. You have to
Yep.
show them to not this. You don't act a fool in every situation.
Nope.
Every situation you have to mirror what's going on and act accordingly. But that's something that you have to instill in your kid early. And it can't be something you wait until he's 16 years old. You can't wait till he's 16 and say, oh, well, you should act this way. Because the kid knows from age
0 to up to present day that
you act a certain way. Or you cuss me out every time I came to you. Or every time I want to talk to you. You was like, well, you should just do it and do this, this, and this. Not really looking at the situation or listening to me, what happened with the situation. Because it's not one key fit all situations. So you have to be cognizant enough and wise enough to give your kid that kind of leeway to express himself.
Absolutely.
Because if he don't express yourself with you and you get him in that right road and you just say, well, get out my face or be dismissive, then he's going to just say, okay, I'm going to act a certain way, or based on how you act, I'm going to act that same way.
Yeah,
and then
I'm going to do what I saw as opposed to what you've been trying to tell me. Because children do what they see.
Not what you tell them. How many times people sitting home smoking weed all day long talking, boy, don't smoke weed. But then you're like, Dad, you smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
Do as I tell you, now as I
that
say.
The kids smoke too.
Shocked. Oh,
we do what we see. Yeah.
And people need to understand it's about your actions. It's never about your words. Words mean not a goddamn thing to me.
If you don't back them up with an action, right?
That's it. Yes.
Because you always are talking to them because they hear you.
Yes.
But they need something to back it up, to make it all the way true.
Yes.
So if you constantly are saying something and showing that same something, then it's going to be received.
Yes.
It's going to be received.
People don't realize that. People keep thinking that, just look at what listen to me. And that's the mistake a lot of these people are making. They don't really, to them, it's like, I can't be my kid's friend. What are you talking about? They're their own separate human beings.
Yes.
They're part of you. You're raising them. It's up to you to make sure you fill them with everything necessary to live in this world. And to be responsible in this world. I go back to this show called probably waiting for your time, Kung Fu.
Okay.
And Kung Fu was a guy, he was raised in China, and he was raised in a monastery, and he knew all the moves and everything when it came to karate. He sent him out there. They said, listen, Grasshopper, when you go out there, you know, and I know, you could bust up anybody who you walk up to because you got the techniques and everything. He said, but go out there and you just be a humble person and you just avoid these situations. But if it comes up, put hands on them.
Yes.
So you knew throughout all the episodes that people would go mess with him like, oh, don't do that to my man. He gonna mash you up. And he'll, walk away from him. Then he said, okay, now I got to put my hands on him. And when he put hands on him, he's like, oh, he was meek and mild. I didn't realize it was in him.
Yes. You
never want anybody to look at you and just assume anything. Like, oh, I can look at him and he's going to do this. That's your interpretation of me, or your vision of me. But I should have enough control, and my parents should have been wise enough to spend the time with me and assure me that there's certain things you're going to look at when you grow up that you're going to react differently. But you have to react to how the situation is.
Yeah.
You don't use a hammer in every situation. Sometimes you may use a feather. Sometimes you may use a screwdriver.
Several tools in the toolbox to get this task done.
And only reason they can know this is because you taught them.
Yes.
So if you don't teach them, how will they learn? You don't want the TV to teach them.
Yeah, and you can't leave it up to chance.
Oh,
you literally
no.
have to pour into your children at every age. And like you said, the whole idea that the children are not our friends, but at some point we should have groomed them into like really cool people that we want to hang out with.
Bingo.
Right? Like
Bingo.
if you cannot hang out with your kid in their adulthood, what type of job did you do with them? Right? Because technically they're mini us, right? They're little mini me's. And by the time they grew up to be an adult, I don't like them or they don't like me.
I tell you this, when my son graduated from college, I will never forget it. He told me there was people that graduated from college who were crying because they had to go back home. They hated their parents that much. It's like, what do I do now? I got to go back. I can't come back to school no more. I got a degree. I graduated. I got to go back home. But I hate these people.
Wow.
College.
Wow.
So now your relationship is so broken and so
Mhm.
shattered that you're like, damn, I'd rather sleep on somebody's couch until I find a job so I don't have to go back home.
See, I thought when your child goes away to college, those were technically like, the golden years, right? Like your kid, they don't have a child, you're not grandparenting, right? So you can kind of, that's when you start breaking down those boundaries with your child because they're coming into adulthood slowly but surely. We got 4 years, right?
Yes.
Over those 4 years, we're going to have a drink together.
Exactly.
I'm going to let my hair down a little bit with you now because you're older. You're an adult now.
Yes.
I want to meet your friends. This new set of friends.
Yes.
So you're always getting to know them at every stage in life. But absolutely, I would think that your kid going away to college is like that time to kind of meet them during the little small long day weekends and take them and their friends out to eat. I'm looking forward to that part.
Yes, and you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna love it because you see the end result of all your work.
Yes.
All your efforts, everything that you spent that time. And there's the little things that it's so funny. I made a point somehow, somewhere, I don't give a damn what I'm doing to make it to see my son, whether it's basketball or cross. And for me, it was I got to be there.
Yeah.
And I would shut my day down and make sure I get down there to see him. And until recently, he was like, I look out there and I wouldn't see your car. And I'm like, we'll be here. Then I'll turn around and look, and there I am standing with a camera. And he'll put his stick up and I'll wave at him. And I was like, wow, that really meant a lot to him.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And he remembered it. It ain't about all the other things. It's about the time we spent together and the effort. Because there were people there who parents probably, work from home, but they weren't at the game because money and stuff was more important to them. Like, you going to school, I got to get that money. But for me, it was like, I got to be there to support. It's not just about the money. It's about the support and what they do.
Because they have no idea of what else you're doing.
No.
They don't understand that you're paying a bill.
Exactly.
All they know is, my game is today. It's for 45 minutes or an hour. Yes. And, you didn't have to drive me there or take me there the hour early that it required. Exactly. But could you at least get there before halftime?
Exactly.
At least, yeah.
And at that point, I was working about an hour away from where he was. And I made a point. I get down there. I leave in time so I can get down there. Because that was important to me. Because I said, that's to show support. And that's invaluable. And a lot of these parents now don't see these little things.
Those are crucial sacrifices. I mean, if I don't work, I don't get paid. And those Saturday games, they would blow my mind because I'm like, I'm shutting down half of my day to show up to the soccer field to watch this kid play. Like, he plays it's probably his 6th game for the weekend. This is the weather weird part. He played so many games for the weekend, and I just have to show up. So I'm there.
Yes.
But the sacrifice it just is what it is. I'm not necessarily showing up for me because I don't enjoy what he enjoys, but I'm showing up for him.
For him.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing, that you have to step outside yourself as a parent and think of yourself who you truly are, a human being.
Yeah.
You're training another human being how to be human, how to care, because that goes a long way of extending you, because now you have put all you can into them, show them the sacrifices and the efforts you did. They'll have no problem doing it.
I mean, well, you see older people now whose children won't take care of them.
Nursing homes are full of people
whose kids don't come to visit. Don't do much of anything, and it's like the children they don't feel bad.
No,
they're looking around like that woman didn't take care of me, that man didn't take care of me. They gave me the bare minimum, and I'm giving them the bare minimum back.
My wife years ago worked for a nursing home, and she came home one day. She was upset. She was saying that I can't believe that all these people are in there and nobody comes see them, and I can't believe it. I said, baby, behind every older person, there's a story.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they had a good story, you would see people come and see them
Mm-hmm.
and be there with them on
Mhm.
Sundays and eat with them and all that.
Yep.
But these people would literally line up in a chair and wait for the doors open and say, hoping
Mm-hmm.
that their kid would come and see them on this Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Some bit of pity.
Something. Just sitting there looking at the door for a person that would never walk through that door.
I mean, because you think about how burdensome it can be to raise an infant, right?
Mhm.
It takes a lot out of you, right? Some
Mhm.
mothers are up every 2 hours around the clock.
Yes.
It can be just as burdensome to deal with an elderly person.
Yes.
I gotta really like you.
Yes.
I gotta really rock with you. You're losing your mind. You don't remember me. Like
Yes.
you had to have poured a whole lot into me for me to keep showing up.
Who you
Okay, I
telling?
showed up to grandma's house one day, drew her eyebrows on her face 9 times.
Huh?
9.
Oh,
9. She
no.
said, "Oh no, baby, I don't like it like that." "Oh, okay, wiped it off, did it again. She said, "No, like okay, wiped it off, did it all up." Because she's poured so much into me. I would
Yeah.
have sat there the whole day doing eyebrows with her until they were right.
Yes.
Because I rock with her so hard. Because
Mhm.
when I was younger, I recall how this woman made me feel. You know, the things she would do for me, and you know, she made us feel special. That's grandma.
Yes.
And so, her in her elder years, we're right there.
See,
You pour into the children, and like they're gonna pour right back into you,
they're going to.
and they keep you young. They keep you youthful.
Girl, let me tell you some
Yeah.
good ish. I don't fuck with old people. I'm going to tell you, I don't fucks with old people. I don't fucks with people who have that old mindset. And it's almost they're waiting for
They stay still.
Yeah,
they
they're
got to a
there.
certain age, and then they stay right there.
I can't talk to you because
Yeah.
again, you already have put yourself in that box. All you're waiting for is death to tap on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing I can learn from you. You're a dead person walking. You're a zombie.
Yep.
I gotta talk to the young people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're young. They're thinking.
Their minds just keep on moving.
Yes,
Mhm.
keeps you young.
So that keeps you. Yep. Absolutely.
So I can't rock with nobody old
Absolutely.
who's stuck and talking about where back in the day when I was
Mhm.
growing up. Motherfucker, nobody cares.
They're repeating life. Nobody's trying to
Yes.
repeat. We're just trying to live it.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hear that.
Yes, you gotta stay up with the youth, and you know we're gonna argue them up and down all day about whose music is better. But
all the time.
I'm gonna enjoy that little session to argue them up with, and you know,
Yeah.
go into a little battle every so often.
Hey.
Play your music, and I'm gonna listen to all the curse words,
Mhm.
all the inappropriate.
mumbling.
Yeah, first of the mumble raps. But I'm gonna throw back on them now. That's fire, you
Yes,
know. And,
exactly.
And that's gonna be like an hour long. You know, I call it the battle rap session, right?
Yep, exactly.
Again, he's 16.
Yeah.
He got the real modern.
He
I don't
got it
even
down.
know- I don't even know these artists at this age.
Everybody little,
Little something.
little something,
Little somebody.
little dirty, little draws, little feet, little toes, little somebody. God damn, what happened when you grow up? You gonna be big dog, big toes, big feet, big something,
But
big. I don't
the
give a
point
damn.
is, I entertain them.
Yes.
And not like, oh, real quick, oh, I'll just listen for a little bit. Nah, we're going to have a real challenge or a real conversation or a real battle or a real disagreement. Let me actually hear you out. Let me hear your
Yes.
music of today.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because again, my son, it's funny. I used to play music, all kinds of stuff, and I listen to all kinds of music. I listen to Biggie Smalls, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. That's the range of my music. And now he can listen to that music.
Absolutely.
He'll play some Tupac. Next thing you know, I hear some Dean Martin. Then I hear some Pop Smoke, and then I hear Sammy Davis.
Mhm.
But that's his taste
Yep.
because he learned it from me. Because he was like, "Dad,
Absolutely.
you listen to all kinds of music." I said, "Because to me, music was music. It wasn't like I listened to just this or that. It's all kinds of music."
Yep.
But you had to be open enough to have the discussion to know that hey, he found
Mhm.
interest in it. He likes it. I like some of the new music now. But that keeps you in connected.
More than that, that's you showing him who you are,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yes.
just because you are who you are, I am also who I am.
Exactly.
And let me show you a little bit of who I am. Let me be a little bit vulnerable around you, just a little bit, right?
Yes.
Just so you can kind of just know.
Exactly.
And the things that I influence on you, they're going to stay with you.
Yes,
So
they
it
will.
better be the proper things,
It better be.
right? You're going to influence these children regardless.
If you don't say something, you're going to influence them. If you say everything, you're going to influence them. So understand, you want to be the one that talk to them. You want to be the kind of a parent that they feel comfortable coming to. Because when they don't feel comfortable coming to you again at an early age, and they stop it when they become middle schoolers and high schoolers, by the time they get to college, it's a wrap. And by the time they really start their lives, they're going to move far away.
Because what ends up happening is you started filling up that vessel, right?
Yep.
And then as you got older, you started allowing other people to pour more into their vessel than you did, right? So that's where the dynamic shift comes from. You have to be the one to pour into your child's vessel. If they are definitely an empty vessel, right?
All of them start empty.
All of them start empty. And something's going to fill them up. Someone, some influence, some book, some Google search, something's going to start filling them up if it's not you.
Exactly. When you got kids who, when we was growing up, I look at Michael Jordan, he's a role model, and Charles Barkley a role model, and blah, blah, blah. First of all, you're looking at people who play basketball well, or play golf well, or whoever. That's what they do. You don't know as a person. He could be a serial killer.
These people didn't even ask to be role models.
No.
That never was their intent.
Nope.
So the lifestyle that they live in is not necessarily something that should be like modeled after.
No.
Yeah. Or glorified.
Yeah. Because
like
we
don't even know.
We don't. I mean, people.
So then you put them on a pedestal, and because that's all your child sees, because you don't influence them with anything else, then that's all they know to kind of look up to.
R. Kelly. I love R. Kelly. Well, I want to be like R. Kelly until you realize he's...
Little newsflash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now you're like, I'm disappointed that he ain't the person I thought he was. Well, where was your parent, or where was your influences to be their role model? Where were they at? So, if you have to look outside your house for a role model, you're doing a piss-poor ass job as a parent.
Yeah.
And you should accept that. So when they come to you, when they will one day say, when you say, you're going to be bold enough to say, why you look up to me? And they start to list stuff, don't cringe. Get your chest up and accept it. Be a man,
they will.
Be a woman. Oh, they damn sure will.
At some point, your child's going to say who their role model is. And it's just what if it's your brother?
Oh.
You're mad.
Hot.
You hot as fish grease.
You are hot as it is outside at this moment. You are sizzling.
What that man doing that I ain't doing? I don't know, but you better do more. You had better do more.
Again, like I said, so all you parents out there, be your kid's role model. Because if you're not, it'll be somebody else. You may not like who that person is. So just a little note from the M&T.
You don't gotta be perfect.
There is no perfect.
No,
be the best person you can be.
That's it.
How many times we keep saying that?
Yeah.
Just be better.
Parenting
be the best
is not
person.
perfect.
No.
It's always going to be a problem with you. You did something wrong.
Always
going to have done something wrong. But that's okay.
That is
because
okay.
you would have done lots of things right that still influence that child to be able to go out into the world and make good choices and to be a good human.
Yes, be a good human. And just, again, be that person that they can look back fondly and say, they taught me a lot.
Oh, yeah. You want your child to be able to reflect and say, they taught me this. They taught me that. My mother always said this. My father always said that.
Yep.
And it don't have to be the same sayings for every child. It probably should be totally different.
Exactly.
But yeah, they should always be able to recall what you taught them. And if your kid doesn't know what you taught them, then you might have taught them nothing.
Oh, can you imagine that?
Yeah, we see a lot of them. Yeah.
Yes.
You see a lot of men who, you ask a man today what their father taught them, they going, nothing. Like, shut up.
Nothing.
Same.
Nothing. That Bama didn't teach me a damn
he
thing.
didn't teach you how to enunciate your words.
No, nothing. Exactly, nothing. But again, that's the end result of you not being part of that kid's life,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're gonna take it a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, you should take it a certain way because you weren't there.
Yes.
You made all the excuses not to be there,
Yes.
and now you want to be there, you can't. And again, you have to accept it.
Yeah.
You really have to accept that.
You're a little late.
Way late.
I mean, but even if you're late, still show up.
You have to at least show up.
You gotta show up.
Be
On purpose too.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you're
Ask
gonna
for
have
forgiveness. Say I'm sorry because they know that you've been missing. You've been missed.
a lot.
But you've been missing, and it's known that you've been missing. And the children are very forgiving, but
Yes.
again, you got to meet them where they're at.
Meet them where they're at. Stop
Mhm.
going back and trying to rehash history.
Yeah,
Meet them where they are.
yeah, with an apology. For
You
the
have
lack
to
of your
apologize.
presence,
You have to
yeah.
apologize, and you have to be there. Now you realize when you do come back, you have to be there fully.
Yes,
You can't be there
half-step
half-ass.
it
No,
because your credibility sucks.
you got no credibility.
Mm-hmm. You have it's below a 400.
Damn. I mean, your name. You can't even write your name in this shit that even
Nuh-uh,
worth anything.
nuh-uh.
God damn.
You're not worth a darn thing.
That is true.
Yeah.
And so again, parents, take that time. Don't always want to be. I want to be right. Oh, I want to be their parent. They understand you, their damn parents. So I don't even understand
Be
why you can use
imperfect
that.
in front of them.
Yes, they'll
Right?
learn from
We
that.
grew up with the notion our parents were very perfect and in front of us, right?
Mhm.
But you still saw them slip and kind of
Of course you did.
fumble on a few
Yes, you did, and you
You
wouldn't say
just
anything.
pretended like you didn't, like you didn't see it. Like, no, ma, you good. You're still perfect.
Yep,
I didn't see that.
you're still perfect. Back in your mind, like, oh, I see all this imperfectness, but they were human.
Yes.
And
Be human to your child.
Be human to your child. Understand that you're just one person trying to do the right thing. If you love them unconditionally,
Mm-hmm.
the rest will be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Do not love your kids with conditions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a recipe for fucking failure. Love them unconditionally. Love them for all their sticky draws and their bad breath and their coal in the eye and all the other
And the
stuff.
bad attitude.
And the bad attitude, the stank attitude.
Because you
all
know
that.
you had the same attitude. That's why you can't stand it.
Because it's you.
It's you. You're looking at you. And you remember the day you was serving that up to your mother. And now you mad it's being served up to you too.
Hot.
You better sit there and laugh in that kid's face and keep on moving.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Just say, you know what? This is karma coming back on
But
my
instead,
ass.
sometimes we get into these tiffs with the kids where we kind of fuel their fire. We don't
Mhm.
give them an outlet,
Yes.
right? We fuel them up, get them a little more
Mhm.
riled up, and you start kicking the kids out. And now you smelling yourself. You can't stay here.
Yes. You're 18. You got to go.
Mhm. As
And,
opposed to allowing that child time to cool off and having a conversation appropriate for that age group.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to groom our youth into something we want.
We have to change the mindset.
Hmm
We have to
And with that, we
change
might
that.
need to change our own.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to grow.
Hmm
We have to change. We have to evolve. All this is about evolution. If you don't evolve, there's no way you can become a better person.
Yes.
And people, when I hear people say, "Oh, I'm perfect who I am," I don't want to deal with you.
Hmm
'Cause
It's
if
a
you don't-
lifetime of learning that you're shying away from. Have a good
Yeah,
one.
and the only time that I could, really not change, I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Dead people don't change.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be able to change and
Right.
evolve. So as long as you're evolving and changing, hey, you're gonna be the best person you can be for that child, anybody else that you hang around. Who's gonna look at you as a role model? Because not just your kids. It could be other
Absolutely.
people who don't have someone in their life that will now look at you as a role model because they see how you handle your business.
Yep.
So, that to me is something that all parents need to do. So, like I said, another gem for these people out here.
I love it.
Always learn the lesson. Love unconditionally, parents. And listen to your damn kids
Meet them right where they're at.
right where they're at. With that, we're going to leave you. Peace and blessings.